we can open the meeting at 9:07. Sound
So
good?
moved.
In the interest of time, I did send you the spreadsheet with everything on it. If you want to breeze quickly through the denials, and then we can get into the approvals, if that works.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. The first one is R11. And owner claims house needs money, needs renovations, blah, blah, blah. I had been there a few years ago for these same exact issues, and we gave them some type of abatement back then. So recommending denial on this one.
Okay.
R20. Yeah, at this particular place, the values did go up. Sometimes in these condominium complexes, you might go a couple of years without any sales. And what I try to do is circle back where there's no sales and take a look at other similar type properties. Sometimes the increase might be more than what everybody else got because we're playing catch up. Also, there was one or two sales in this particular building that supported the assessment. So recommending denial. Next one, R27, questioning land, why the land is valued more than the building. And well, those of us that have been doing this more than a month understand why that is. And the sales review also conducted, there was nothing in the sales to say we should lower it. And also on Myrtle Ave, some properties that back up to the trains used to receive a discount, but the sale doesn't support that discount. And those were taken out years ago. The sale, so I just felt that there's not enough there to really abate when I have more stuff in the assessment.
Yeah.
And now we're into commercial ones. C1. Yeah, the building needs work, but it's not a high value building, and it's nothing that, popped off as being unruly in its assessment. So recommending denial on C1. C2 to, let's see, I got a few here. C2, C5, C6, all denied. No supporting data to support their opinions of lowered value. And I'm sure if any one of them files at the appellate tax board, we'll get into it.
Okay.
C8, recommending denial. I mean, there's sales out there of these bank type buildings that, tells me I might be kind of low. I have 4.1 on it. They're saying 3.1. And I think it should be 5.1, but that's just me.
Okay.
C9, denied. I know it's a crappy old rundown building, but they are using it and, invest in it. The way I have it assessed reflects that it's an old
Crappy old building.
Yeah.
C11, Yano knows this place. And this will be denied. This will be the second year we deny. They have 1 year at the appellate tax board. And I'm sure when they file at the appellate tax board this year, we'll get into it.
Okay.
Number 12, I'm at 4-3. Their opinion is 4, but they don't show me anything to support it.
Mhm.
And I don't see anything out there telling me I'm tremendously off.
Okay.
Okay, this next one is I didn't write the number on the front. Sorry about that. 7911 Audubon Road, denied. Again, it's a blanket filing by a tax outfit, nothing, no opinion of value, no supporting data. C13. Again, they claim the property exceeds value, exceeds fair market value. Yet again, they provide no proof whatsoever. So recommending denial. And this is relative to, actually, this is a few of them in a row. This
Mhm.
is 13, 14, 15, and 16. And again, the denial will spark discussions in the coming months, income and expense data, see what's what. So may end up adjusting down the road, but for now, deny.
Deny. Yeah.
Okay. Now we get into the fun stuff. R number 1. Basically in this one, they submitted photos and everything, and I've been in a couple of units in this property, so there was no need for an inspection. You've seen 2 or 3, you've basically seen them all. But this one has a preponderance of issues relative strictly to the unit. Ceiling issues, ceiling caving in, walls and stuff like that. So I felt that, giving them 1 year only and abating 48.5 for the 1 year was more than fair. So I never adjusted their value in the database. It's a 1 year only. Hopefully that'll help get everything fixed in there and everything back to normal.
Sounds good.
Yep.
R2, although we assess this property, we have it as residential and a portion commercial. The commercial portion doesn't exist. At one time, there were a couple of offices in there. They're not there anymore. So we're just recalibrating the tax amount paid. So we're taking that portion that was taxed at the commercial rate, reassigning it at the residential rate, and it results in a abated tax of 12,316.
Okay.
But they're still filing as an LLC.
Yep, that's their ownership. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, okay, I don't know why my spreadsheet is acting up. Okay. R3. This one here. Couple of units sold in that site, and basically I had an upward adjustment on this property when it sold years ago. But reviewing the certification detail report that shows me all the units, all the square footages, the grades and conditions, I made a code change to bring the value in line with other assessments of similar type units. and more in line with what other units it sold for over the past couple of years. So it results in an abated value of 53.2, an abated tax of 598.50.
Mhm.
R4. Yeah, for some reason, this one was the biggest unit in the building. And it's not, the best building in the world. But when you use the lower priced units to value it, I never would have picked up on this. It inadvertently drove the value of the bigger unit significantly higher than other similar sized units in other buildings.
Mhm.
So I had to put an adjustment in to compensate for that. And reducing the value brings us statistically in line with the values of the lower unit, but compensated for its size. So
Mhm.
it's still significantly above the other ones, but it's brought down to a more reasonable range.
Yeah.
The abated value is 100,700, and the abated tax is 1132.88.
Mhm.
R5. This property had some work done on it a few years ago. And sometimes to capture the permitted work value, we may change what's called the effective year built. It
Mhm.
reduces the depreciation to raise the value. But upon inspection, the work that was in there did not warrant that type of change. Like, okay, if it sells by MLS, you look at it, and I always try to remember that MLS will photograph things in the best possible light.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you get there, it's starkly different. So we readjusted everything in the house and came down on the value. We're at 919. And after the adjustments, it came out to a much more reasonable and sales supported value of 741.5. It's an abatement of 178,000, an abated tax of $2,005 and some change.
Mhm.
Number 6. Yeah, house is old, need renovation. Went in, made we had it in good condition. No one's been in the house. We set that down to average and moved like kitchen and bath to fair condition. So the resulting abatement is 59.9, abated tax 673.88. Number 7. This one I had its conditions too high. I think we had average to good. I knocked it down to average, and it brings it more in line with the description of what's there.
Mhm.
So again, like when these units were first set up, the sales were all over the place. So as the assessor, you're trying to figure out, okay, what styles are more, what's this, what's that. And yeah, that works in the beginning, but you find yourself constantly, when these come up and when other sales reviewing some of the adjustments you put in there. So I removed an upward adjustment for this one.
Okay.
And the abated value is 47.2, abated tax 531. Okay, there we go. R8 we haven't seen yet, so on to R9. Yeah, this we had an assessment of 1.13. But at the time on 630, there were renovations in progress. Basically, the kitchen was gone and all supported by photos and everything like that. In fact, work is still going on in the house. So what we did was for 630, we reduced the property to 60% complete, as we would do for like new construction, what have you. And, ooh, that's a big abatement, but it's in line what was there. I mean, the house was missing amenities last June 30th that we failed to capture.
Mhm.
The abated value is 272.5, the abated tax is 306,563. Number 10. Yeah, this condo complex, it's kind of hard to value these standalone condo complexes. Because there may be two units, and we put them in what's called a condex model, where they all look kind of similar. And you lump them in, so you get a few hundred properties there, you look at the sales, you raise them, but it's not as accurate, shall we say. And sometimes things like this pop up, and these two units, because the changes I made here, I made to the other unit, even so they didn't file, because it's the proper thing to do. They were just too high when I kind of took it out of that model and looked at other similar type properties. And basically, everything in the property was average, but again, it was still popping. So I changed one of the codes that we use to, fine tune. And I brought the assessment down by 76.9. The abated tax 865.13. R12. Oh, I remember this house. We had a small finished basement in there. We took that out. The condition was good to very good. And the kitchen was in good condition. Knocked those both down to average. And I added either 5 or 10% functional obsolescence, because from the kitchen to the dining room, yeah, you can go around the front, but when you leave the kitchen and go this way to walk into the dining room, I can literally not walk through the hallway forward. My shoulders get stuck. It is just a huge design flaw. I had to walk down sideways. You know, it just reinforced the fact that I really, really got to get back on the diet, man. But I mean, the diet will help with girth.
Yeah.
It doesn't help with width. So
Victor, that's how I walk through every room in my house.
but this was a smaller house in that area.
Mhm.
The recommended abated value is 93.4. Abated tax is 1,050.75.
Huh.
Fun times. R13. This again in its model was popping a little bit higher compared to sales. That street over there, they all have these two little side-by-side two families,
Yep.
And it was just popping a little higher, I thought, and it was a small fine tuning of the assessed value to bring it in line with everything else that's there. So basically, it's an abated value of 26.9, abated tax of 302.63. R14. We took a look at, I had an assessment of 511,400. And again, this falls into the category, this property came online along with the other ones on Albion Street. So as you go, you're still figuring out what units are more, what have you. Subsequent sales didn't support the value that we had, so we adjusted some of the codes in there and brought it down to reflective of what sale prices were over 2022. There was, I think, one or two in that building that supported a lower value, plus in general, that style of unit did.
Okay.
So reducing the value by 89.5, abated tax is $1,006.88. R15, just a quick, condition change. We had everything, kitchen, bath, and, condition is good. It's only average.
Mhm.
We're taking off 41.8, and the abatement is 470.25. Number 18 was, we had, the lower living area, overestimated. So we, corrected the, lower living area, finished area, and it
Is that a
resulted. Is it a what?
ranch?
Calling it a split. And let's see. Really nice house.
Yeah.
But it was just the basement area. I think we had it at 100% finished, and it's only 75. So that's the abated value of 29.5 and an abated tax of 331.88. Matter of fact, I like the house. All on one floor, finished basement.
It's a nice house.
Yeah.
Victor,
Yes.
did we miss R17 along the way?
I have it somewhere.
Mhm.
You got that one. Did it stick to someone? Oh, yes, it stuck to someone. Let's go to 17. Inspected the house, really didn't see anything we were off. So my next step is to take a look at sales. And for the size of the house, the area that it's in, 824.6 was a little high. And even the final assessment, I come up to it, 790. Might still be a little on the high side, but at least it's something in an effort to knock it down to where it should be. So it's an abatement of 32.2 and an abated tax of 362.25.
Okay.
Now we put it in order. Good. Number 19. Second one, I got a study on the house. We had the value a little over $1 million. They paid $980 for it in February 23. Okay, I'll take a little of that in consideration, but the home was outdated. The asking price in the house was $990 at the time. It got $980. So basically went in and we just corrected whatever conditional aspects. We had the house listed as good. We changed it to average. And on the sketch, I had to draw in a cathedral ceiling to separate out the second floor that isn't there. So results in an abated value of 55.8 and an abated tax of 627.75. Number 21. I had seen this house, God, I think when I first started here. And back then the kitchen was good. Now it's average. And the physical condition back then was average to good. Now it's average. So we made those two changes. It resulted in a abated value of 29.4 and a abated tax of 330.75. Let's see. This house is undergoing R22. The house is undergoing significant rehab that began in 2021. So the house is currently uninhabitable, doing some work on it, what have you. And Scott went out and saw it, made some changes, reducing the value by 93.6 and an abated tax 1,053. R23, we had an assessed value of $1,050,000. Come on, you. It sold in September 23 for $940. So we filed for an abatement and we basically changed the condition from good to average. And I think we added another bathroom. So the adjustment is 38,000 and the abated tax is 427.50. R24, inspected the property. Basically, the overall condition we had is good. It was only average. Kitchen is average. We added a 3/4 bath. And because of ongoing rehab, what I did is I made those first changes to the property. And then I modeled it with a 20% new construction discount for what was there on June 30th last year. So this revised value that I have on there isn't the value because that's reflective with the 20%, but the 20% has been taken out. It's just for that 1 year only. They'll be moving along, doing what they have to do.
Right.
So the abated value is 159.7 and the abated tax is 1796.63. What? Yeah. R25. This person went to the appellate tax board last year. I made a small adjustment, made everybody happy, but we made the adjustment late, so it wasn't reflected this year. So this year I'm reflecting similar type adjustment, and it results in an abated value of 32.2 and an abated tax of 362.25. And if this person ever files again, I will go to the Supreme Court. And number 26. I had to correct the sketch on this. It's a nice house. The owner has done a lot of work over the past couple of years. And basically, he has like 4 garage spaces in the lower level. But the lower level is also finished. If you don't compensate for that, when you put the finished area in the lower level, it's also going to assume part of those garages are lower level and finished as well. So basically I had to cut the sketch up a little bit based on my walkthrough, separated those out, listed the property correctly, and it drops the value by $11,000. So, and his concern was he went to do his insurance. And they said, you have all this square footage. And that's why he filed the abatement. He said, I think you're counting this. And I went in, oh, yeah, you're right. Let's fix it.
Mhm.
And the abated tax is 123.75.
Big house.
Huh?
I'm just saying, I just took a look at it. It's a nice house.
Yeah. Oh, done
Jackson Lake.
a lot of work on it for past couple of years. It's actually huge and it's got its little bit of weirdness built into it too. So let's see. We have I have one case at the appellate tax board where I have a potential settlement for a smaller hotel in the town. And basically the 2 years at issue, the assessment was around 2.324. And I'm looking at a settlement in the range of 1.9 and 2. These go back to income and expense data that was affected by COVID. So they had filed at the appellate tax board in like 22. And we denied it. They filed again in 23. Finally, with the case coming up, the attorney reached out. I look at the economics. They're not asking for anything for 2024. And I think they're at 2.6 million for 2024. So if you're okay with that kind of stuff, it's not a high value property. And God, the last time I dealt with them was when I first came here. And then despite all the changes they've gone through, they've never filed here. And they just filed for, again, those 2 years. They didn't file any subsequent year.
Mhm.
So again, it'll be lowering values from, like I said, 2.4 to 2 and 2.3 to 1.9 for the 2 years at issue. If that's okay with the both of you, I get with the both of you. The tree, the tree, I'm looking at tree abuse. I'll go ahead and engage the attorney and commit everything and secure the withdrawals. Other than that, I don't have any other major filings at the appellate tax board. Although some of the ones we denied this year will be back and we'll be rolling up our sleeves. And, you know, I did hit a couple things a little bit on the hard side. And that's where our fight will be, whether or not it's warranted or should a little bit of it be scaled back. I'm firmly in the camp it's warranted till you convince me otherwise.
At least you'll get more information from them, so.
Yes.
Other than that, around the office, we had excise bills go out. So past few weeks, we're all hopping with excise abatements, things of that nature.
Mm.
When we're done with this meeting, what we do is we'll enter the abatements into Munis so that they hit the tax bills. As I told everybody, our goal is to get it on the tax bill due and payable May 1st. So they see that there. Town meeting coming up next month. So I'll be there for that. I'll be the guy sleeping in the front right corner. Probably on Kevin Gill's shoulder. And other than that, we'll be moving on to building permits. Getting all that stuff done, finishing the sales review for calendar 2023 sales. And again, I am so lucky to work in a place with such, I mean, I can't say enough about Kirsten and Scott. And overall, everyone I work with in this place, it's wonderful. It really is. And thank you folks for doing this to help us out. Really
Certainly.
means out of my heart.
Well, I'm doing it for the money.
Yeah.
And the glory.
The glory, yes. Well, that's why he has the moniker, Mayor of Brightview.
That's right.
You gentlemen have anything for me, or is there anything else you wish me to cover?
I do. Senior circuit breaker tax credit has
Yes.
gone to $25.90 for tax year 2023.
Yep.
Obviously, that means that our senior discount may be affected going forward.
I think my thoughts are we have it at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
We stick with that. I don't want to be the first community to give less than what the circuit breaker is and see where the chips fall. Recognizing that it's going to be a little bit more costly for your average single family homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
As one, I'm okay with it, whether I pay $30 or $40 to help 250 seniors age in place and remain vibrant in our community and on our boards and stuff like that. It's fantastic.
Yes.
I also finally came to a resolve on the statewide bill that we put together. And I'm not sure I'm working with MAAO or they're working with me. We're working on a legislative strategy to get it to the State House, get it approved. And it's a little bit different than what we have, but all the elements are there so we can pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the Board of Assessors. I firmly believe, I know you folks are elected, but you are also the ones that directly help the seniors. through us, we know them, we know their faces, we know their stories, we know what they want when they come to the counter. And it's special being entrusted helping those folks. And that's why I believe the decision of how much to grant should firmly remain with the board that basically administers it,
Mhm.
than a select board or what have you that, could do things for popularity and not necessarily practicality, as I've seen in other jurisdictions where I work. But I think just like the first couple of years, we try to track how many people we lose and how many people we gain in subsequent years, we'll be even more keenly aware of those numbers, which will affect our presentation of this. It'll affect my talks to the senior center and any videos and things I know, because even so, I've been telling people that they don't understand it until they don't get the circuit breaker in a subsequent year. And then I show them that they are, net positive over the 3-year cycle. So it lessens the burden, but the raising of that will have material implications on senior finances that we're aware of, and if it's within our power to mitigate some of that, we'll try it.
Mhm.
But and also for next year, for our exemptions, you recall it was a team effort, team board of assessors, to double all those amounts. So that's going to be a good message to get out there in our messaging when we start that up beginning of the summer.
Great.
Yep.
Good.
Enjoy your trip to Florida.
I'm having leave Sunday.
How long are you gone, Vic?
I'm going for 9 days.
Oh,
And
nice.
the fella I'm traveling down with, he can never make it cleanly through TSA. It's, we walk through together and I turn around, where's Johnny? And there he is getting wanded, getting patted down. He's just got this edgy look.
Get some sketchy things, Vic. That's what it is.
I mean, there's always that one guy, but it seems like I'm always traveling with him. Going down to meet a retired assessor buddy, and there'll be other folks in the area that come join us a couple days here and there, and it's just nice and relaxing. And I'm happy that my wife gives me a kitchen pass to go. Honey, if you're watching, thank you.
That's always good.
Yes.
Right.
Anything comes up, you can always text me, email me,
Mhm.
Call me. Any help I can provide. If you get questions from taxpayers, any one of us here can walk you through any process and help anybody out. So that's what we try to do.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Victor.
You're welcome, gentlemen. Thank you again.
Vote for me.
You're on the ballot, Yano.
All right, we'll get cracking on entering these and move forward to tax billing and all that stuff. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Victor, before you go,
Yes.
do you need any, excuse me, signatures?
I would say pop down anytime during next week.
Okay,
You can sign these applications, and by then there'll be a couple of forms that Kirsten will have.
sounds great.
Fair
Will do.
enough.
All right,
All right, any two of you will work. You know which two I'm talking about.
exactly.
All right, be well, fellas. Thank you so much
Thanks.
again.
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah, that too. Let's see, not bad. 40 minutes.
And I'll second that.
Favor?
All right.
Ooh.
Good to see everyone. Take care.